people here already. So this is just one of the secret streams. I didn't really plan anything. I'm just drawing some robots. So and if I'm gonna draw talk, I'm gonna draw, I'm not gonna talk. Robots or spaceships? I have not made my mind up yet. I might switch to doing some studies. It's been a while since I did some human figure drawing. Let's do that. Maybe not the most interesting for you guys, but I always enjoy doing these. And yeah, it's been a while since I did one of these. So let's see. Hey guys, Ubla Klinks. I don't draw so fast. At least it's not fantastic when I draw fast. So. It's a bit, the shoulders are a bit wide here. And hey Saman, welcome. Sound is low. Yeah. Let me see if I can help that. Might distort the audio a bit. I'm gonna pull up the thing. Let me see. Tell me if this helps sound wise. Yeah, it's a bit it's slightly later than I usually stream, so we might play most of the time a little bit lower energy. So that could have something to do with the low sound that you hear. But yeah, tell me if it got any better. In the meantime, we continue drawing this lady. I feel like I'm drawing her quite a bit larger than I intended. This should be more straight. Something like that. Much better. Good. No background music. There should be background music. Okay, let me pump that one up as well. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. That's weird. Okay. Well, apparently the internet is not cooperating with me today. So sorry about that, guys. But it's not like you're missing out on fantastic conversation here anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. It's just like it's a Sunday evening. If you wanna chill a little bit, just hang out, let's draw together. Nothing really that important happening here. We're just chilling and drawing together. So I do not like this level here at all. This looked actually not that hard at all when I chose the lady, but it turned out relatively not easy. I just feel because I made everything a little bit larger here, I should bring her body a little bit up. Her arm has a bit more, almost like a swing there. This also comes a bit like that, and we have our first break as well. Do I not bring water? There it is. Hey, Mr. Ducci. Long time no see. And hey, Clash Royale. Thank you, Clash Royale. Cool, it's one leg, two legs. I don't like this at all. Something like that. So how's everybody's evening? How are y'all doing? I find Sunday always to be a bit depressing because Monday is coming.
Look, tell a man no trouble, I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting
Trying to do just the shadows of the face.
I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah. No need for the snoozing. Big whip outside, I'm cruising. Big stick inside, no losing. Better watch out for the snake and Judas is. Don't ask them who this is. I bet they know what I'm moving in. I bet I show it into a dim. How you hate and then lose again? How you hating my vibes? Why you wasting my time? Getting hype on my life.
So we have quite a nice shadow running along her leg there. All the way up to there. And you have a bit of shadow coming here.
No need for the hype or fight or telephone vipers. No need for the telephone vipers. No need for the liars. I don't watch your moves or priors. I got much to do on bias.
So it goes something like, goes along the muscle there, and then we have a bit of the knee there. It's a bit dull today indeed. Around it's 11:07. Yeah, it's 10:07, so like 1 hour ahead of me. Which could be somewhere in Eastern Europe, could be somewhere... What is the same time? I think Egypt, areas like that is the same time zone. Hey Manuel, super secret indeed. I'm doing good. Just a bit, well, I said low energy, but it's just a Sunday energy, right? Like everybody's slowly getting ready to call the weekend over, which is not something that we want to do. There, very rough one. Let's take another one. This is enough for this lady. Let's see what else we have here. I'm gonna do... Oh, this is cool. Let's move this one. I'm gonna switch brushes to something that I like a bit more. And I'm gonna make this one a bit big. Oh, this is a painting actually. Don't wanna use a painting. There is the original, I see. Okay. Let me see if we find another cool image because... Oh, this is nice. Copy image, and they're selling stuff, so perfect. Let's see if we can do something with this. So one leg, two leg. This should be shoulder. This should be rib cage here. Arm. Let us move this one out of the way. Other arm. This is like back, booty area. Then here we have sort of crotch area. So this should be the upper or lower area of her shirt. Boobies going there. Something like that. Man, it's, I can feel proper that I haven't done this sort of stuff in a while. Let's do some more straight lines, because that just makes me feel more comfortable. And as we know, like, ladies barely have purely straight lines, but it just it's easier for me. So this is her sneaker. Pretty cool sneaker she's wearing, I have to admit that. Can you draw Doge next to her? Yeah, okay, Jesus Christ. Why are you so obsessed with Doge, Saman? It's like a meme that has been dead for years and you keep on pushing it. Tell me, what's this obsession with Doge? Like, if it was a current meme, I would say, yeah, okay. But you're like very hung up on Doge for some reason. I need to know why. Can you tell me that? Okay, not too many details just yet. So you wanna tell me what this obsession with Doge is, Sama? Because I am now, at least now, I am very curious. She has a pocket here that should follow her leg a bit more. Something like that. And then this arm is not really that visible. So we have the shirt there, then her hand there. Can you guys hear me, by the way? It seems like you're not hearing me, or I don't know. I mean, I can also just be quiet. Like, I don't always have to blabber off. Maybe my streams would be more interesting if I wouldn't be talking, although Doge will never die. I think Doge died already several times. You just keep on bringing him back. Let's see. So as per usual, I'm not gonna pay too much attention to her head, just because it's small, and I'm drawing in a lower what's the word? Resolution. There we go. That's the word. Okay. Let's tighten these lines up a bit. So we have some shadows here, and then we have some shadows here going on. Something like that. Her hair covers most of this area.
Started as an East Coast vibe, now I'm going worldwide. We got this bitch going crazy. I used to take the Mazda for a drive, now I'm on the 405 like it's fuck you, pay me. We really sick of standing outside and the
Not
push
bad.
from all
I
the
like
side
this
is what
song.
you get for trying to play me. I bet they make a movie when I die just to talk about my life. They need an actor to portray me. This motherfucker clear like a nitro.
It's mostly
Elevator
straight.
flow on a high top. I got little something stacked like an IHOP. This is 05, you will put it on your iPod. I'ma give you something that you can't forget. Put the price up, baby, add the tax a bit. No, you saw the karma, thought it was an accident. Well, it wasn't. It's about time the kids buzzing. I'm trying to hit a peak in the elevator. But if we talking peaks, I need mine like the Himalayas. I'm talking yay high, man. I never had a vertical limit. I ain't seen you put in work in a minute.
Tell you what, since it's a chill Sunday stream, I might as well add those here. Let's do a minimal face, even though I said I wouldn't. Anime nose. Keep small. That's enough. Let's take thanks, Nick. We've been to some sort of monologue event, experimental theater thing with a girlfriend, just got home, and there was actually a live DJ playing a whole bunch of pretty cool hip hop, so I felt like playing some hip hop myself now. And I don't really control what goes, because like this is from the subscription that I have, so I can play music on the stream. But actually today I'm pleasantly surprised. They have pretty good selection. Let's just add something here. And then we're going to have a little bit of fun and do the Doge for some I don't know why we're doing this, but sure. Actually, it could be so nice and finish her up before I just stop, because she had another shoe here that needs to be done as well. There we go. That's slightly better, not much better, but slightly better. Nick, yeah, sounds pretty good. Would have taken a rip if bass was transmitting fine though. Yeah. I mean, this also sounds good. No idea what it is. Okay, there's those. So we're just gonna add like a sewage hole thing, and then he's popping out of there. It's funny because I'm really not into drawing animals, and you can feel that and see that immediately. Just not my thing. But every now and then it's good to challenge yourself to do something. Hey Sherban, I'm good man, I'm just chilling on a Sunday evening. Just a nice low energy drawing together, maybe chatting a little bit sort of stream. What about you? How's the exams and all? Wait, you would actually draw him? It was a joke, like draw anime girl. Yeah, well, I'm gonna draw him now, and just like with Rue and his anime girls, we will never talk about those ever again. It's It's also funny because you have to think a little bit about what can you exaggerate and what can you not exaggerate when you're drawing a dog. Should be something like this, I guess. I feel like he has a very specific eye shape that I'm not really catching right now. But definitely. Oh man, this is horrible. Sherban, glad to hear I'm good. All my exams were great. Well, congratulations. I had 1.7, the lowest. Oh, that's good. If 7 is your lowest, you're doing great, man. The rest of them was 8, 9. I start new semester, had to work on license. Well, that's all fantastic, man. Oh yeah, I wanted to see if I can do like a double stream. So I will stream on YouTube as well. I just press that button. Camera, let's see what happens. Boom. Some people will be able to see me there as well. Doge is a cute dog and it's she. Oh, I didn't know. Doge is a bit chubbier. Well, if you say so, let's see if we can make Doge a bit chubbier. Also, like Doge is very, I see now, very rounded, and I'm not used to drawing rounded shapes, so that is throwing me a little bit off. Let me redo the eyes because I'm not the biggest fan of the eyes. Oh, it's a good beat. I like this one. The Chronicle Gamer. Hey man, can you give the Doge a fedora? We will do that. I like that idea. Let's darken this area up a little bit. By the way, so if people are joining me on Instagram, you should pop over to my YouTube because I can't really read Instagram chat. Okay, so this goes sort of here, and then the eye is there. Let's see. By the way, I do a task for graphic designers. I have some nice ideas on the start. I kinda let it need to work on it. Only 4 months left. So what sort of desk for graphic designers? Like a work desk for home? At least I feel like the eyes are a bit better now. Oh, you know what? There's the neckbeard fedora guy. Neckbeard fedora guy. Oh my god, I love this picture so much. Oh boy. We're having fun here, aren't we? So the eye should come something like this, right? smaller eraser. Oh no, that's not the eraser, great. That was the eraser. Oh, I was on the wrong layer, of course. Always on the wrong layer. Trazin. Eyes are too close together. The wider you put the eye, the cuter it looks. Okay, let's do that then. Let's move this a little bit there. Let's fix this nose up a little bit. Yep, that's a good catch, Trazin. Something like that. And then we have a bit of darkness there as well. And I can make 14 is big enough for a brush. But I want a bigger eraser. Shirban, yeah, kinda. I want to introduce to the desk as much as I can the needs from a design and graphic. I will post on Discord when I. Yeah, do that. I'm curious what you have in mind for that. I'm not a graphic designer, so I'm also just curious what a graphic designer needs in general. I feel like something like this. Don't want to make him too shaggy, but just a little bit. He has a bit of this nice fluff going on, right? Unless it's an alien. Renzo, hey Robert, what cube exercises did you do when you started for getting used to rotating the cube in any perspective? Honestly, I really don't remember. It's been a while. But it's mostly also just perspective. As soon as you understand perspective, then you will also sort of understand rotating things. I do plan on making a video on that soon. So just stick around. But in general, if I can make a quick break. So the idea is, we'll go back to those in a second. You have the horizon line, and then on the horizon line you can construct your cube, and then you can also construct a cube somewhere up there. The problem comes in if you start like rotating this cube, because then sort of the horizon line goes somewhere else, and that's the part that is becoming complicated for people. So you sort of take, you have a universal horizon line, and then you have sort of this more specific one that goes along with your object, and that you have to take along with the object. Maybe let's cut through his ear comes through the fedora. I think that's cute. Something like that. If it's an alien, you need to put them in further apart. Back of the head is too thin, you say? Let's take a look at that. You might be right. I'll just move the whole thing a little bit. Let's do this. Let's make it a bit puffier there as well. Better now, guys? Yusef DK. How is your experience with Autodesk? I tried it once and the shortcut was sucked. Well, I actually love the shortcuts because there's only, well, there's a couple, three. So space brings this one up. S switches between last two, the brush and the eraser in this case, but the last two brushes you used. And then V is like move the image. And that's all the shortcuts you need. So I really like the shortcuts on Sketchbook. Also, it's not Autodesk anymore. It's different. Now it's just Sketchbook because they parted ways from Autodesk. Maybe it's just, should I put like, wait a second, I don't like this as much. Something like this. Yeah, I think that works better. It's behind his ear. Well, it's not just for graphic designers, but I need to put a title to it. It's more for my needs and I do a bit of all. Yeah, that's what I thought. You need to sell it for a teacher, don't you? Go away. Okay, let's drink some water. That's a nice fedora. Thank you. You just invented dog heads. I ate half a kilo of pepperoni cheese because it was going bad. Okay. You should never let cheese go bad, so I approve that message. A little too big, but yes, it will work. His paw fitting, that would be actually. Let's erase his upper head. There we go. Merge that down. I'm bringing a bit more of this fluff here. I would try to make him look a little bit more like our neckbeard guy here. Who am I to talk? I think right now I have a little bit of a neckbeard as well. There we go, something like that. And then I find dog paws are very funny, so that's a great idea. Add a little bit of fluff to this as well. I entered the most random moment of the live stream. Yeah, that's what I aim for. Like every moment when people join, it should be extremely weird. Not necessarily unpleasant, but definitely random. Random is a good way of describing. But then again, that is sort of fitting for my live streams in general. Also, I like it, like proper hip hop in the background, and we're drawing Doge with fedora. Oh boy. Like I don't even like what are these live streams, guys? Like, what is the meaning of like? So people usually have, okay, let's do a study live stream, let's do a this or that live stream. I'm just doing random shit. It's not really something that can be explained what we're doing here, is it? Okay, I think that's a good Doge there. together with our guy. Let's see what else we can do. Yeah, this is live indeed. It's a good point. There's a couple of good poses. Oh, I like this one. Let's do another pose. I do another pose now, and in the meantime, you guys can come up with other things you would like to see drawn, and then maybe we can do that as well. So this would be the chest area. It's actually pretty good. The guy's muscles are quite visible. I do like that. So we went away from Doge to just random guy drawing now. So I'll leave Doge there as well a little bit, just so we know where we come from. Let me bring that down a bit. I want to have Doge on the screen, why not? There we go. Just to keep the randomness if new people come into the stream. We don't want them to think that this is just normal stuff. No. Jesus Christ, that muscle looks weird, doesn't it? This goes around. There, and then this goes up there as well. And then he has a thick neck muscle. This should come out a little bit more that way. And this is where that muscle happens. Nipple, because for some reason it's totally fine to draw men's nipples. Like the school muscle there, but I don't know its name, but I like drawing it. This muscle is really weird for me. So we have this, then we have a muscle like that, and we have that muscle. Someone, it would be funny if you posted the drawing with the reference online. It would be. I might put it into my stories. What's this? Question mark. What advice do you have for a freshly graduated product designer? Anyone Designed asked on Instagram. Be patient. It might take a while to find a job, and also be open-minded, because I know a lot of product designers who end up doing something slightly different than what they expect they would be doing as a product designer. And that's also like me, because I had all these expectations of what I would do as a product designer, and I don't really do any of those things. Mostly because I'm also not necessarily in the pure product design field. So we have the small eyes there. Then we have a smile there, which doesn't really look like a smile when I draw it. Nose is maybe too big. All of this needs to be smaller, that's the problem. Bro, I said do a selection here and make that smaller. Just like that. See, that's not so hard. We can do that. That should be enough. So let me see, this is comes out towards his mouth. This is also a very cool shape for an arm. I'm gonna make it a bit more angular. Makes my life a bit easier as well. And then you almost have like a straight part there. Like sometimes if you simplify it, cartoonify it like this, and then you can bring in some volume with some more rounded shapes, it becomes quite a bit easier. And then we have something like that. Might be a bit small. Usually hands are not a problem, but this is a bit, I feel like I'm messing up. And then a huge biceps there. And then this is here. Okay, okay. Shivan Kumar. I was just learning through all tutorials. Thanks, thank you so much. Well, glad to be of help, Shivar. Always happy to get feedback like this. So this would be like the crotch area. This is that leg, pant, butt, that leg. Actually this comes up a little bit like that. And then he has his arrows there. My angle is too big there, and then maybe my angle here is not big enough. And then here I can see he's stepping back quite a bit. Something like this, and this is also mostly in shadow. And then we have some grass stuff there. And then this goes into, just cross hatch it out because it's shadow anyways. Doesn't matter that much. Shadow still matters in the end, but sometimes you can just cheat a little bit and get rid of quite a bit of it. So this would come here. Then this one comes a bit further. I never saw an angle where the arm is just this cylindrical without any particular. Let me just keep this straight. The easiest way you can do, just cheat. There's no need for me to try and draw like proper straight lines there. We don't have the time, and it's not gonna yield anything for me if I invest a lot of time trying to make that straight. So one finger here, then two fingers there, And it feels like the little pinky finger is there again. Oh, break time again. Then let's drink some more water, stretch a bit. Let me see, do we have more questions? No, we do not have more questions on Instagram. It's fine, on Instagram people can't actually see what I'm doing, so. And like this, yeah, more like that. So we have our bow here. And bow there. By the way, is anyone in the chat watching Drive to Survive, the Formula One Netflix show? Because I really need people to talk to about with that. Because I really enjoy it. When I was younger, I was watching a whole bunch of Formula One because every Sunday it was just sort of a tradition back home to just have super late lunch. It was technically dinner almost. Sorry about that. And watch Formula One. And usually because we just finished lunch, dinner, whatever, I also very nicely fell asleep usually throughout the the race. There we go. It's not that accentuated, but I still feel that it's a little bit visible where the ab muscles sort of split up. Something like that. So mostly the whole thing is in shadow. So I'm just gonna add the most here. There we go. I don't know what this Assassin's Creed type of thing on his arm is supposed to be doing. Oh, Tristan, thanks for sharing that with us. That's vital information for us to know. Like, it's always important to look back and take a look at consistency when you know about your health as well. We can bring this one back. Those can go a bit more there and maybe on top of it. There we go. Okay, let's do some sci-fi stuff, more robot related stuff. Do I have anything of that lined up? Let's get a bit of inspiration. Let's see. So actually I'm looking at, let me copy this so you guys can see better what I'm doing. The arm thing is to protect your arm from the string when it gets back to its original form. Ah, that's smart. Yeah, of course, because like you have sort of this muscle sticking out, so when the string comes back, it can rub on it. That's I've learned something new today. Uh-oh. Wrong layer, guys. Wrong layer. That was a yawn as well. There we go. So now I'm not really drawing her. I'm just using her body as sort of inspiration for some sort of robot. Or spaceship, I really haven't decided yet. I'm just taking her organic shapes and translating them into more jaggedy shapes that might work better on a hard surface object. I was asked to use memes for reference. It's not like I did it like super seriously. Trying to find a good transition here between the two. Maybe some intake thing is there. I don't want it to look too much like her. I do want to step away from that a little bit. And right now it still looks too much like her instead of a spaceship. So let's change that up a little bit. Let's say this is like hanger. Then I'm gonna change that a bit as well. And then we just have that hanger entrance. Good song again. I'm always happy when there's some good songs going on. Hey, didn't I just take a rest break? Can you play some Snoop Dogg or something? It's sadly not really, I don't have the license for it, so I can't really play anything that's like on the radio. This is mostly indie stuff. I have a subscription to music that I can share on the stream. Otherwise I get in trouble with good old YouTube and Google and whatnot. So I am erasing a lot of the stuff that I did here, as you guys can see, just because I have some new ideas and I don't like some of the stuff that was there. So So I do like the shape of her belly that goes up there, so that we could translate that. And then just continue this shape. It sort of goes there. And turn it something like this. So what's really powerful is also the arch in her back. So we can take that a little bit. And then just the two legs would be like two wings, like this. And I would then just make this sort of like a wing as well. It's very unbalanced at the moment, but we can still fix that. That's not a big problem. Yep, YouTube regulations indeed. Otherwise, we would be only listening to old school 90s and early 2000s hip hop if I had my way. But sadly, I do not have my way. We have the Google way, or the YouTube way, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is starting. I'm starting to like this. So we have this strong. Now I want to make the wing a bit stronger, bigger, because it works better and better. Not the biggest fan of this, whatever that is there. It's a bit too simple shape. You want to have a bit more interesting shape than just that. And then also this is too much like a head, and I decided to get rid of it. Let's see what we could have instead is just a bit more cockpity. Something like that. And then we could have something like that there. This I could turn into some sort of intake well, actually I just erased the shape and I redrew it. That's very smart of me. But if we turn it into some sort of intake, I think it will work immediately much better. And now I'm not really following her. I just used it in the beginning to get some idea what to do. And now I'm just letting the shape itself dictate what it wants to be. This wing is in need of coming a bit lower, I feel. There's a cockpit. And more cockpitiness. And then we just I always like spaceships that have these loose parts. Hard to explain how they work, but they are interesting nonetheless. Well, exhaust is still in the back. Unless we would do something here, which is an interesting thing behind the wing. Let's do a square exhaust for this. We don't need. I feel like a lady might be a bit distracting rather than helpful. Let me turn this a little bit. I feel like now they can see a bit more. think bigger is better. I thought so. Most people do think that. So let's just try a couple of different locations. We could put it in the back, somewhere there. Hey Ru, welcome. Just doing some secret streaming. Someone, they are space stuff and they do space things. Indeed. So I do not like it there, or at least in the current configuration. I'm not the biggest fan of it. We could do something like this. I probably saw this somewhere because I don't come up with original ideas. So let's see, if we would have some sort of double mounted exhaust that goes like this. So the idea I really like, but it would need something like this as well, then I say. So like this exhaust I think is cool. I don't know where I saw it, if I saw it, but I think it's, I'm not sure if it works on this ship, but I will draw it out just because I like the idea. And we might use it another time on something else. So I'm just gonna take a sort of box standard intake for this as well. But then here on the back we would have exhaust flaps. Something like that. Yeah, this is Star Trek-y, but the front, I think not so much. But I still think like the front needs some adjustments to go along with the wing. Because this goes up, I feel like I want to bring the wings down or put the wings there. I think that actually is a better idea. So remove the wing from here. And add it, since I already have that nice little slot or groove or whatever it is. And look at that, it works much better. So it's still nice, like this is like shoulder of the thing. And it goes into the aircraft somehow. But having the wing down there, it works much better. Firefly, yeah, well, Firefly had the wings with exhaust on them, so I see why you would go there. So like this would go somewhere like there would be the other side, maybe just slightly lower. We would have the exhaust on that side, and then the same thing with the things. Love the soundtrack, cool, calm, but got some bounce to it. Yeah, man, that's how we roll. We're calm, we're cool, but we're bouncing. Adjustments here. I feel like this has a diamond shape to it. elements that go in there. Back wing. I like the back wing. Makes no sense on spaceships to have wings in general, but I like what this does here. So then, what would this look like if we draw it from above? Let me do a quick. Where is our symmetry tool? So we would have like the body with these two intakes. Then we would have the cockpit there, and then we would have probably with a minimal tilt. These would be the exhaust things, and then it comes just a bit further along, and you have that wing there. And then I like the slightly forward tilted wings. So just so I have a better understanding of the shape language of our thing. Actually, the wings are a little bit further back now that I look at it. There's something like this, yes. Something like that. It's kind of like a reconnaissance spacecraft if you put a huge carry space at the bottom. I like the dropship sort of things. I like drawing dropships because they are like very functional, quickly fly in, fulfill the mission, and then get the hell out of Dodge. Something like that. Okay, enough with the symmetry, let's continue with our main spaceship. Just say the wings are radiators or something. Radiators? No, they are wings. I love your channel and have been a subscriber for several years now. I'm now in my second year of industrial design degree and your videos have helped me a lot. Well, thank you very much for saying that, man. I am very happy to hear that. First of all, I'm happy to hear that people are studying industrial design, but also that my videos are useful. Both are happy things for me. GV2, I want to make games and I have some ideas. I'm just not a good artist to visualize it. Personally, any tips? The main tip is I don't think you need drawing for games. You have so much assets that you can buy. Making games that, yeah, of course it depends what you want to do, but if you think about game design, it's more important for you to be able to code or have a good grasp of a tool that helps you, well, to at least do some basic scripting, and then you have a million assets that you can use. So I don't think art should be something that stops you. And it's always, you can always use placeholders and just test with friends. And then if the main game loop is fun and working, you can always improve the art. Or talk with friends who are good at art and do that. Let's do some like old school sci-fi door that like folds up in itself. Long distance spacecraft. Reconnaissance spacecraft. I like that. Let me see. It's still too high, eh? It's still too high. So you have to watch out for things like this. You don't wanna, because you don't see it directly, but like subconsciously, your brain is like telling you that hey, something is not right, something is not cool there. Fix it. But you don't know how. You don't know what you need to fix first of all. Just came across your channel, I love it. Thank you, GV2. Potato, hello. Alison Stanford, hello. Landing gear, yeah, that's always a good thing with these things, right? So let's do a side view of it as well, since we did the top view. So this would be that area. Then you have the cockpit there. Then you have this intake thing with the most rounded thing, and then we have this thing, which is the exhaust, something like that, and we have the wings here. So the most reasonable thing maybe to just would be a VTOL. I would then we would add some exhaust here as well. And then we could have like a flap out thing. It's charging? Other way around. Alright, tablet is charging, so I think we would do the some sort of. Then it reminds me a little bit of an insect, which is actually fine, but looking at it, like this thing is super heavy, so it would probably tip. So what we can do is just bring in a little bit of old school design, maybe just add a small wheel at the end of that, almost like World War II airplanes. I think that might work design-wise. I like some of these old school elements. Might not be the most sensical one, but I think it looks cool. And then here, like I would just do. Also on the wings. I think I like that. So we'd have wing, like these can obviously like fold in there, and then the wings also have sort of things that open up and reveal. Where's smaller eraser, please? Yeah, I can live with that, guys. I like that. It feels like not a freighter, probably just a dropship. Yeah, dropship. It makes me think of the ghost from Star Wars Rebels. Oh yeah, I know. That was very Millennium Falcon inspired, in my opinion. But I guess I'm taking that compliment. It's always good to be compared to Star Wars, at least in my opinion, because I do like Star Wars designs. Okay. Is it possible to work as a freelancer before you have a degree? And if it is, what kind of work should I try to find? I mean, it is possible to work as a freelancer, but as a freelance what? Freelance illustrator, freelance... like what? Freelance what, you know? So I'm working as a freelancer in the field of visual thinking, visual facilitation. So I'm helping people communicate with the help of visuals. I'm not really freelancing as an industrial designer. I have industrial designer in my description because it sounds nice, to be honest. But it is much harder to work, like if you want to work like industrial design proper, because people usually either hire in agencies or they have in-house designers who do the stuff that they need to be done. So if you just have a portfolio with like projects that you did that were not really turned into products, just they look nice, it's gonna be hard, man. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's gonna be hard. Sock owl. Let me see if you guys can see it. There we go. I think that's. Oh wow, there's a huge delay, isn't there? So we have sock owl now. Landing gear. What are the virgins who need landing gear when you have an entire ship? Yeah. Tech with Robert Laszlo. Yeah. Not functional tech with Robert Laszlo, I would say. Okay, so let me make the inside dark. Something like this. So we have some see-through areas. Thank you, Roducci. So we have some dark areas there. Okay, so that would be the cockpit. Then here we have the cargo areas. And then the VTOL. I'll join you in a minute. Yes, yeah. Okay, so like this ship needs a lot more work, but it is a bit late. And tomorrow is Monday and we will have to work. So I want to thank you for joining me on this this chill evening of just drawing all sorts of nonsensical things. But I mean, like, I think you guys are used to it. Like, this is the tradition. We draw nonsense. Like, I never have a page that sort of makes sense. Let's finish up. Let me read what else we got written here. What program is this? It's just called Sketchbook app. You can see it if you look all the way up here. If you follow the mouse, there it says Sketchbook. It's not Autodesk anymore. This is a very old version. What books do you suggest for sketch learning? Scott Robertson's How to Draw is also always good. A bit complicated, but good. Low quality on a chip right now. I can't see the corner. Yeah, it's Sketchbook. Trying to practice that. I've been trying to practice on that and it's free. I'm doing most of it on Sketchbook, yeah. And it is not a Mac, but it is a Wacom. So it's a Wacom into a drawing touchscreen thing. So I'm going to draw a cute... Yeah, I drew it once, remember Ru? We drew it once and we said never again. So you can ask that as many times as you want, but you already know the answer. Hey Majinri, you're from Indonesia. It's either super early or super late over there. So, Salamat Malam, I think. At least on my part, because it's night here, so I'm going to sleep now. But yeah, thank you guys. The Chronicle Gamer, yeah. Tristan William, don't be surprised, it's just a long-running, stupid in-joke that he likes to do. CCTV, I've learned industrial design only for my master's, which was 2 years technically. Before that I did engineering, and after that I'm just doing my own thing. Alright guys, let me zoom out a bit. Let me thank you again for joining me. And then with that, I will wish each and every one of you a good night. Tomorrow there's gonna be a video, and I think next Thursday we're going to do a proper stream. So yeah, have a good evening. Bye bye.